both teams right now applying press defense.
The alley-oop play to Sam Reyes. And a 4-0 start for the Tiger Cubs. UST, in just the first 2 minutes alone, they look like they're a team on a mission here.
You can see they're really trying to control the tempo of this ball game by applying excellent pressure to really disrupt the offense of Ateneo.
First pass to Koji. When the floor looking for cutters, gives it to Duma. Shot clock down to 4. Ronquillo puts it in. 7-0 start for the Tiger Cubs. This forces Coach Reg to call an Ateneo timeout as we take a look at this replay. Chris Porter, Doy Dungo, some of the MVP caliber players. But you want to talk about hard? That's Lance Ronquillo for you. That's Andre Madranca for you. You always need a supporting cast for your stars. How will Ateneo respond after that timeout? Still scoreless here with 2 minutes gone by. Urbina to Espinas. The quick hands by Lim. When the floor now has the leather. Going downhill. Koji to Reyes. He floats it up. When the floor sprays it back out. Lim, quick first step. He will get to the line to shoot 2.
So far in this ball game, it's been a slow start for Ateneo on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively. And if Ateneo wants to get back in this ball game, they gotta make sure to make a way how to break that press defense by UST. And on the defensive end, they're just gotta be more disciplined in staying in front and being more active on that zone defense.
JB Lim goes 1 for 2, and an 8-0 start for UST. Chris Porter was caught right in front of the referees with an offensive foul on Manding. Check that at Sam Reyes.
UST did a good job selling that call. Porter really didn't do anything there.
Charles Buxit checking in. Reyes seems to be hobbling to the bench. Ronquillo breaks away. Elbow jumper. 5 points now for the point guard.
That was a good read from Ronquillo. He saw there were people in the paint and took that open pull-up.
Urbina blitz, trapped. And Urbina was telling his teammates that someone needed to be in the middle. But first, how about that tough shot by Lance Ronquillo?
That's what I'm talking about. If Ateneo really wants to compete in this ball game, they gotta have to make a way to break that press, and they have to put a man in the middle to break it.
Ateneo did a good job that time to feed it to the big man and Chris Porter, who had the seal. Once Chris Porter has the seal, it's a done deal. It's signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yes, when it's Porter, everything is done. I mean, he's the go-to guy in this team.
TJ finds Andre in the corner. First three-pointer for Ateneo.
Oh, that was good ball movement. They just have to be more consistent with it.
Dungo to win the floor. Koji attacking baseline. Kicks it out to 𝔠𝔤ₐ. Steps in for the midi.
So far, everything really going well for this UST squad.
Espinas inside the quarter. Kicks it back out. Madranka back-to-back threes.
Madranka back-to-back threes. Trying to lift up this Ateneo team.
Madranka had his best performance last game with 9 points. Already has 6 here in the first quarter. Dungo, no look pass, but in the floor. Bang into a bucket.
Dungo just showing us the flexibility in his game. Trying to operate, making that extra pass. But here, with Ateneo, Madranka with a corner three. And Dungo making plays for UST. And making that extra pass for a foul counted.
I'm telling you, Doy Dungo liking that pass. Koji win the floor with a mask. We've seen that in the past couple of games.
And you know, it's no joke to play with a mask on. It's hard.
Have you played with a mask before, Enzo?
Of course, during my 3rd year in juniors, I broke my nose and it's hard to play.
Dapat mag-cover ka rin naka-mask. In the meantime, 4 minutes has approached in our opening quarter. 15-6 in favor of UST.
Yeah, you can see here Ateneo being more composed this time.
Hard screen there by de Guzman, but Ronquillo with a personal.
Oh, this is a good matchup in this ball game. Urbina and Ronquillo, both tough guards, defensively and offensively.
Urbina maximizing the screen. TJ De Los Santos. It's back of the iron. It ends up on the hands of Ronquillo. Lim on the run now. JB all the way. He will be shooting too. JB Lim, he is a train that just doesn't stop on the fast break.
I mean, this is the composition of this UST squad here. They're very athletic and everyone could really run the floor, and that's their first option, to really look for that open run and make that layups.
Ziv Espinas will be taken out. It's Asistio checking in for the very first time. Didn't really see minutes last game, talking about Asistio. And just like that, UST up by double figures, 17-6. Asistio, the bounce pass to de Guzman. Couldn't execute on the play. JB, sidestep, emergency pass. That time, that train met an unstoppable force.
Again, Urbina sacrificing his body the second time around and getting that offensive foul.
This Urbina has really mastered the art of taking those charges.
And alam mo, minsan mahirap gawin yan eh. It takes a lot of guts for a player to do that.
De Guzman simply gets it across. Madranka, he check. That one rattles out. Urbina will try from deep. Still no go for Ateneo. 3 chances there for the Blue Eagles. They weren't able to maximize. They feed it to the big man. He goes to work. Offensive rebound by 𝔠𝔤𝔐. Both teams getting scrappy with the basketball.
Yeah, both teams are being aggressive on both ends of the court.
𝔐𝔞𝔪 checking in. You know, 𝔐𝔞𝔪 had a great fourth quarter. He was the player that kept them alive in that game versus FEU. Tight pass to De Los Santos. The strip by Lim. JP sprinting downhill. Dungo straight away. Hits front of the rim.
Right now, Ateneo just having a hard time taking care of the basketball, already committing 5 turnovers in this opening quarter.
𝔑𝔞𝔫𝔦 from the corner. How about that? All 9 points for the Blue Eagles coming from beyond the arc. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢, two-man game with Buenaflor. Charles, mid-ranger is pure.
UST just really having answers with what Ateneo has been giving them. So there you can see that was good ball movement for the Ateneo side that led to a corner 3. And again, UST just answering back.
Mid-range special from Charles 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢, one of the many scorers of UST. One of them, 𝔬𝔬𝔭𝔲𝔰, checking in. Wacky to Kurt. They swing it to the right side. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢, help defense is there for de Guzman. Carl Manding. Now, Carl Manding, he is a undersized power forward at 4 position. But he is effective at that position under Coach Manu.
Well, I mean, it's all about how you want to work hard inside the paint and get those rebounds. And if you're a player and you play for Coach Manu, I mean, you really gotta give your best. I mean, no let-ups.
Idol ko yata niya eh. Pares kayo ng hairstyle eh. Very opa.
Hindi natin masisay, ganun talaga.
Yan yung opa hair.
Oo, mga good boy looking dapat.
As Carl Manding makes his first free throw. Good boy looking, but you know, once he gets it in the middle of the court, he goes straight like a bully.
Yeah, he plays like a monster out there.
So 29-hour score. Ebdane double teamed. Finds Stan, who just celebrated his birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday to you, my guy.
Suiko lines it up. And 𝔬𝔬𝔭𝔲 secures the leather. East to west movement there. Wacky from middle 3. Dan scanning down court. Loads up on the right side. Ebdane. They've been trying to give it to those corners against the zone. Here comes Manding. Out of control that time. And it's Ateneo's turn to run.
Yeah, so far, it's been a fast-paced ball game for both teams, trying to really run the floor.
Tight pass. De Guzman was stripped. He will be taking 2 free throws. He's holding on to his left calf. Looks like a Charlie horse right there.
There you can see the ball movement from Ateneo and those extra passes. They just gotta make and convert those shots and execute those plays the right way.
It was the knee of 𝔐𝔳𝔳 colliding with his thigh area. Chris Porter has not been able to attempt. He is on the bench, but UST has done a great job limiting him. Has not scored in this ball game.
Well, UST has been doing a great job putting a body on Porter in this ball game and making sure that whoever is assigned to him starts his work early.
22-11 our score. Velasquez was looking for his Gilas teammate in 𝔬𝔬𝔭𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬
And so far in this ball game, UST is playing more of as a team, playing unselfish basketball with 7 assists already in the opening quarter compared to just 3 by Ateneo.
Rocky ball fake, hang time, assist steal with a power rebound as we approach our 2-minute mark in our opening chapter. Dan will maximize the screen from the Guzman. The floater won't go. Ludovice To Kurt, back to Wacky. Now to Ferrer. They're looking to operate against this zone. Velasquez, catch and shoot three. Manding with a recycled 14 for UST. So 10 seconds to shoot here for the Tiger Cubs.
You know, this UST team is also a high-octane team like Adamson.
Zanoria for three off the bench. That one rattles outside. If you're Ateneo, you'd be happy to be down by just 6-7 points without Chris Porter scoring at all in the first quarter, Enzo.
And that's also a good sign there. I mean, if you're Ateneo, you would want to make the game close entering the second quarter.
They locate Tan. Tan finds Suiko. Perfect pass. And Suiko gets the bounce. That's the fourth triple of the Blue Eagles this quarter.
A ball game now. Ateneo only down by 6 in this ball game.
Coach Manu Inigo not happy that Ateneo scored in this possession. A wide open three-pointer by Suiko.
Ateneo has been looking for those corners so far in this first quarter.
Velasquez contested, but you know what? He says it doesn't really matter.
That was great defense there, but better offense.
Shot clock is off. Ateneo could take the last shot here. Down by 8. Suiko signaling out a play. Mikey to Asistio. Trying to bounce it down to De Guzman, so somehow manages to get the two-pointer.
And Ateneo have been moving the ball really well in the past few possessions.
So the end of 10 minutes, an 11-point lead by USD has dropped. The first quarter, along with Lance Ronquillo. So Doy Dungu has not scored at all. I think we hyped them a little too much in the pregame, calling them, you know, they are though, the entire season, MVP caliber. So, baka narinig, Renzo.
Alam mo naman, partner, minsan, it's not how you start a ball game, but it's how you end it.
Spoken like a true veteran, partner.
Minsan parang diesel lang yan, kailangan mo na painitin.
We can't wait for them to score though. Doy Dungu and Chris Porter, who are both on the bench. And the first possession of Ateneo results into a turnover.
And I like what I'm seeing from both teams right now because, I mean, their main players are not really performing well so far, but other players are performing really well.
Zanoria receives a kick out. Cut off there by De Guzman in the baseline. Ferrer saved it to the wrong jersey. Tan with a bomb, and Tan with a basket and one. That is what you call a birthday special right there.
Specialty in the house. Coming from a good defensive stop, drove to the basket, heard the foul, Tan just made that shot and converted it.
So you're getting your bench to really score here for the kids of Katipunan. Tan, 𝔖𝔱𝔞𝔬𝔦 and 𝔬𝔞𝔬𝔦 chipping in.
So far, I mean, the other players are really stepping up in this ball game. And so far, intense yung ball game, ha? Napapatayo ka na.
Ay, upo na ulit ako. So now, a one-possession lead for UST. It's been a run for Ateneo here, beginning in the late in the first quarter. 𝔬𝔤𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬𝔬 Great defense there for Mikey Ong.
And that was great and well-disciplined defense staying in front.
Mikey Ong stepped on the sideline. It's hard to get balanced on the sideline when you catch, making sure you don't get out of bounds, Lorenzo.
Well, you get it out of practice. I mean, with a lot of reps, and then you just gotta make sure to improve in it.
𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 looking like a bullet train, wanting to take it straight to the coast.
Oh, there you can see. That was again a corner three right there. And 𝔑𝔫𝔦𝔬𝔫 has been looking for that corner three all game long, huh?
Actually, that corner three of 𝔑𝔫𝔦𝔬𝔫, that's been yung red zone sa PS4. Kung naglalaro ka ng 2K, yung may hotspot.
Totoo, I mean, yung corner threes na yan ang parang highest percentage for you to make a 3-point shot.
Velasquez, couple of jab steps. Shot clock down to 9 for the Tiger Cubs. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 to Velasquez for 3. That one's off to the mark. Tan, what about that move?
Again, the birthday boy showing us those moves.
Velasquez to Ferrer. Mark cut off by Suico with the steal. Tan, fast break opportunity again. Wild reverse. Koji was there for the rebound. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 to a trailing Buenaflor. He rolls that one home. First 2 points for UST this quarter.
UST just rewarding their big man for running the floor and threading the needle.
Espinas will wait for more friends. 2 minutes plus gone by in quarter number 2.
Well, so far, Tan doing a good job composing and relaxing his teammates.
Suico to Tan for 3. Mikey Ong tipping it back in.
Ayun, mukhang nagising na yung 𝔑𝔫𝔦 eh.
They trimmed this lead down to 1. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢, free throw line jumper. That one is good.
That was a good pick and roll read for 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢. Reading the defense. The big man didn't close out, then took that open pull-up. There you can see he waited perfectly for the ball screen to be set up and just took that pull-up right there.
Chris Urbina, Andre Madranca, Chris Porter back in the ball game. As for UST, JB Lim, Doy Dungo, and Lance Montillo. They load up on the left side. They've been running the same play. Urbina, hounded by Ronquillo. Porter will try from deep. Dungo finds Lim. He is open to shoot. Ronquillo offensive rebound. He was distracted by the presence of Chris Porter. Urbina trying to tread the needle to Espinas. So, I don't know how many times did we turn our heads in that couple of sequences. Left, right, left, right, left, right.
So far, nothing really going well for both teams. It's been a fast-paced ball game and really trying to get their flow in this game.
They start the play with Koji. 𝔬𝔬𝔪 squares up and knocks it down.
Hand down, man down.
Koji 𝔬𝔬𝔪 1 for 8 in their last game. Now 4 for 6 with 10 points.
And it just shows a lot of the confidence that Coach Manu is giving his players.
Ong, quick trigger. That time too long on the iron. It's been the bench points of Ateneo really keeping them alive with 17 points. But Koji 𝔬𝔬𝔪 bouncing back in just the first half alone after a tough shooting performance against UE.
Baka naman nakapag-adjust na, may mask daw eh.
Ganun pala dapat.
Oo.
Usually, gumagaling ka pag nakamask eh.
Siguro, dahil parang nafe-feel mo, mas focus ka, diba?
𝔬𝔬𝔪 sizing up Porter. Goes for the jab step. Miscommunication there by Dumo and 𝔬𝔬𝔪.
Miscommunication there. Apologizing for that turnover.
𝔬𝔬𝔪 was found in the middle. Porter, short corner, finds a cutting 𝔬𝔬𝔪. Patience is a virtue.
Definitely is. When you get the ball inside the paint, you gotta take your time and operate.
Dumo uses the Loreto screen. Doi with a spin, the drop. Koji with the finish.
So far, Dumo hasn't been really scoring in this ball game, but he's been creating plays for his teammates, and that's what's good about it.
𝔬𝔬𝔪 bricks the three-pointer. Sam Reyes will be inserted in. Doi Dumo. Take a look at the spin. A decoy move. Koji 𝔬𝔬𝔪 now. He is the only player in double figures so far with 12.
Well, Dumo hasn't scored anything yet in this ball game, but already has 4 assists, sharing the basketball with his teammates. Pero medyo na-jinx ko ata doon ah.
Iba yung vibe ni Coach Manu Inigo today. There's a lot more intensity to it. It just shows how important it is to win this game so they can secure that Final Four and not hope for NU to beat UE. Just have the win, put it in your hands.
Well, when you're in a position that your fate is still in your hands, you gotta make sure to get the job done right away.
Tight pass to Dumo. Reverse assist. This time it's the big guy to Dumo.
Finally, his first 2 points.
Ateneo has seen enough. Coach Reg Verilla will call a timeout. An 8-point advantage for the kids of España. Elite big man here in the UAAP Chris Porter has not scored in this ball game, but he's had his teammates to help him out. They are still trailing by 8, back after an Ateneo timeout. Madranka to Domangkas.
Well, so far, UST is really making it tough for Porter in this ball game. Really making sure that in every possession and every angle of the play, there's a body on him.
Orbina. Time going down, now has 6. De Los Santos in and out dribble. Madranka to beat the buzzer. And Chris Porter with a 2+1 special, but the referee saying time has expired before he got that shot off.
So in that last possession, he almost got it there, but you could see there were 2 white jerseys in front of Porter there.
So Chris Porter will have to wait a little longer to get his first 2 points here. 𝔬𝔞𝔪𝔢. So that's another air ball. Back-to-back air balls from both teams.
You can see Porter, they're just challenging him to take that shot. And if you're a UST player, you gotta take that shot with a lot of confidence.
We find Madranka in the middle. Porter looking for his point guard. Urbina looks at Coach Reg, looks for instructions. Chris the drive, he kicks it out. Madranka for 3. Package delivered. That is his 3rd 3-pointer of the ball game, Renzo.
Again, coming off a pick and roll. Again, looking for that open corner 3 and making it.
The timeout. Cubs holding on to this 5-point lead. Their biggest lead once at 11. Blue Eagles has not led in this ball game, but their bench has been leading the ways, outscoring UST's bench 19-9.
Yes, and that's a good thing for Ateneo. If your top guy is not performing at his best, you have other players to step up.
Urbina awaits a Porter screen. Chris sends it out to De Los Santos. TJ strong drive. Almost loses the leather. Urbina from the corner. Porter was boxed out, but I think you're going to need your entire squad to box him out.
And, you know, if you can see in every possession, there are 2 white jerseys there. You can see. When you have a matchup as big as Porter, a big guy like him, you're really gonna have to put 2 players in him.
Alfonso Tan. Give it to Chris Urbina here as we approach our 2-minute mark in chapter number 2. Chris drifts left. And Ding with a rebound. Go ahead pass to Dungo. Doy feeds it inside. Esteban goes to work, but Porter winning the battle. How about that pass, Urbina, right inside to the Mangas?
That was good ball movement on the Ateneo side. And alam mo, makikita mo kahit wala pang score si Porter, hindi niya pinipilit. He still plays within the system of his coach.
Esteban, open. Manding tried to get that offensive rebound, but slips through his fingers.
There again, it all started with Urbina on that pick and roll, recognizing an open teammate down below.
That's a 5-second call from the Blue Eagles. That's gotta hurt. When you're trimmed the lead down to just one possession. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 will inbound from the baseline. Dungo to 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢. Lance finds Ludovice. Wacky drives left. Shot clock down to 4. Dungo decides to fire, and Dungo was fouled by Urbina.
So far, 2 crucial possessions there for Ateneo, not being able to take care of the basketball, and on the defensive end, committing a foul beyond the 3-point line.
And you know, as a young team, Renzo, that is something that they have struggled with in season 86. Finishing those quarters strong and without a lot of errors. As you see, Coach Mano Inigo, yung classic upo niya talaga. Every game, there's a picture of Coach Mano Inigo.
I mean, he's one of the reasons. Naging idol ko yan dati. Sobrang galing maglaro niyan dati nung makikita mo.
Actually, ako rin, idol. Ako naman, idol kita dati.
Alam ko naman yun.
Hindi ka na nagbago, no?
Alam mo, mawala na lahat. Wag lang yung kumpiyansa sa sarili, di ba?
Doy Dunga goes 2 for 3. 1 minute remaining in the second quarter. Domancas steps back. Audrey will give it to Tan. He wants to execute a good play here. Quick passing for Ateneo. Tan with 3 seconds to shoot. How about Alfonso Tan with a big burst of energy and confidence from the bench?
You know, he's been playing a great game in this ball game, and he's been reading the defense of UST really well. Trying to look for those driving lanes and taking it hard to the basket.
Alfonso Tan misses his first free throw. This is just Alfonso Tan's 3rd and 4th free throw. Commissioner Javi Nunag, UAAP commissioner, on your screens. Stan goes 0 for 2. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 trying to use that Manding screen. Tan was able to get across. Dungo straight away has not hit a 3-pointer in the first half. Suico sends it out. Domancas, high looper. Porter offensive rebound, and the bang and the bonus for the big guy.
Finally, the first basket for Porter, and the big guy that he is, controlling those boards and getting the offensive rebound. Oh, that's a big boy move right there.
Koji Benaflor will be sent in. Some timely substitutions here for Coach Reg as well. And that has to be nice for Chris Porter heading into the second half with at least 2 points.
And alam mo, pag si Porter talaga yung matchup mo, hindi po pwede isang player lang. Dapat dalawa talaga to box him out.
They've cut the lead down to 2. A timeout by the Tiger Cubs with 14.9 seconds remaining in our first half. 14.9 seconds remaining. It is UST basketball. An opportunity here for the Tiger Cubs to take the last shot. Ludovice Tutungo. Shot fake, drive, kicks it out. Wacky steps back for three. Too long on the iron. And that will do it for 20 minutes of play. A phenomenal defensive stop for Ateneo, who are celebrating like they've won the game in that first half. The kids are enjoying here. along with 𝔬𝔬𝔰 9 assists. As the lead of UST back to 15.
Yeah, 𝔐𝔬𝔪 having a run of it for himself. 9-0 run.
How about Alfonso Tan having the game of his young UAAP career? You know, his biggest points this season, Renzo, was 3. And he now has 7 points. Another stop for the Blue Eagles. Mikey Ong will start off the play. Domangkas to Ong from the right side. That time too strong. 𝔬𝔞𝔪𝔢 with the quick hands. 𝔬𝔬𝔪 was able to regain possession. JB. The bounce pass to Koji for 2.
UST now just enjoying the basketball, sharing it with one another. And speaking of 𝔬𝔬𝔪, he reminds me of a young CJ Cancino back when CJ was still playing for UST. They have the same complexion of the game. I mean, they're both athletic.
Bricks Versosa, the tallest player in the UAAP, knocks down a 3-pointer.
You could just see with every UST player oozing with all the confidence, and it speaks well of the coaching staff.
18-point lead now for the kids of España. This is the biggest lead of the ball game. JB Lim says goodbye. Whatever Coach Manu Inigo told his boys in halftime, it is working right now. I'm sure there were a lot of things to be said after the first half.
Yes, and you can see here that Lim getting that interception for an easy layup. And the reason Lim is inside because of he already has 6 steals in the ball game.
Really just have to be impressed with Lance 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 this quarter. 5 for 6 from the field. He has 9 points in the third for a combined 14 points. Third quarter scoring, Renzo, 21-5 in favor of UST. It's a 21-5 run.
Well, everything is just really going well offensively and defensively for the UST squad here. And so far, wala pang counter ang Ateneo in this quarter.
Versosa. Somehow Benaflor was able to get it back. Tall lineup here for UST with Versosa and Benaflor. Koji Benaflor with too much aggression there. More than halfway done here in the third quarter. Now a 20-point lead. Steal by USD. JB Lim, back-to-back points, and there's a foul.
Again, it was Lim again on that defensive end. Tapping the ball and getting that layup.
It's been Ronquillo on the offensive side of things, but really to start this third quarter, it's the tenacity and energy of JB Lim that set the tone, Renzo.
Ano mo naman yung kasabihan na defense wins championship, it wins games as well.
Renzo Sobido wins what?
Huh?
Renzo Sobido wins what? Nanalo ka ba ng championship?
Hindi. Pero talo UP sa amin.
Kaya hindi ka na pinapayagan sa loob ng Diliman eh. JB goes between his legs to beat the buzzer. Tough shot. Shot clock expired there. You know, bricks for Sosa. For a high school kid, his body at least is college ready, but you know, for the big guy, Renzo, what are you looking forward for him to improve?
Well, in this kind of stage, he's still a work in progress. I mean, he knows he needs to get a rebound. That's his role. But on the offensive end, I mean, he still needs to learn the basic fundamental skills. And that's something he would learn over the years being with Coach Manu.
That's a good point. You said the words fundamental skills because he is just brand new to basketball. It was in the pandemic that he was found, and you know, he has that three-point shot. He has that instincts for the game, talking about bricks for Sosa. But it takes time for him to mold really to an elite big man.
Yes, and it takes time. It takes a lot of patience, hard work on and off the court. And, you know, it's something we could expect from Versosa being under Coach Manu, who's also a great coach developing players in this kind of level.
There are late bloomers to the game. As we see Lance Lagdamen, who is not suited up, one of the leading assist mans in the juniors division.
Alam mo sinong perfect example ng late bloomer sa basketball?
Benji Paras.
Hindi, Mac Bello.
Oh, really?
Hindi marunong mag-dribble before, volleyball yung sport niya. Nakitang malaki, kinuha ng FEU, developed him, and now is one of the great players that came from FEU.
An FEU legend and Mac Bello. It's better late than never. Ikaw ba? Kailan ka nag-start?
Since birth ata naglalaro.
Sa hospital pa lang, binigyan ka na ng bola.
I think I was born to play basketball.
Madrangka too long. Suiko jab step. Falling away from the right side. That's a tough shot for number 17.
That was good patience. Gave a small nudge and a pull-up. Made a basket there.
Ang smooth talaga panoorin ng mga lefties.
Actually, para siya mga James Harden, Fox of Sacramento Kings.
Kaya nung pinapanood kita nun, pwede ba si Mark Nonoy na lang tumira? Mas maganda panoorin eh. Kaliwete eh. So a 19-point lead here for the Tiger Cubs. As we talked about in the pregame, Ateneo is out of contention. UST, one win away from securing that Final Four spot. Of course, Adamson and NU with a twice-to-beat advantage.
You can see the USC is really going for the kill in this game.
Suiko zips it inside to Asistio. Ball being bounced around and will remain with the blue shirts. Madranka will trigger in. Urbina, the quick pass to Unri. Chris catch and fires. That's good.
Yeah, very timely basket and a much needed one for the Ateneo squad to stop the momentum from UST.
Velasquez, he just checked in. Dungo to Kurt. Kicks it back out. Dungo. It ends up with Ludovice, who gives it inside to Manding for the inside basket. Let's take a look at this one more time.
Ateneo fading to backs out there, and USC just taking the advantage and getting that rebound and easy two.
Urbina will be shooting 2 free throws. You know, if you're UST coming into the Final Four picture, Renzo, they've defeated a lot of tough teams here as of late. And they're the type of team with their firepower. You know, you have Ludovice and Velasquez on the bench with less experience. They can easily upset teams like Adamson and NU.
You know, when you enter the playoffs level, it's anybody's ball game. It doesn't matter if you're facing a team with a twice-speed advantage. But when you're in the Final Four, it's anybody's ball game. I mean, the level of competition there is much higher, and it's different.
Kurt Velasquez, textbook. Triple team. Chris Urbina, he has been hounded by the full court press of Coach Mario Inigo.
There, you can see there, good ball movement. Shot fake, one dribble pull up for an easy basket.
Chris Urbina has not scored in this basketball game. As if Espinas checking back in.
So far in this ball game, no one has even scored a double digit for the Ateneo squad.
Check that. That is his third three-pointer. 3 points for Chris Urbina. $18-point lead now for the Tiger Cubs. Manding reverses it to 𝔑𝔞𝔪𝔢. Pin down action for Ludovice. Goes to his strong side. Back up top. Shot clock down to 5. And 𝔑𝔞𝔪𝔢 falls short.
That was a good defensive stop for the Ateneo side.
Sneeko for Espinas. Zib had the right idea. Porter couldn't finish. 2 seconds differential between shot clock and game clock. There's too much muscle on that pass from Alfred Loreto, which will give Ateneo a chance to score on this last possession.
USC just applying a full court pressure, not giving Ateneo an inch to breathe.
Chris Porter made sure he will take it straight to the rim.
It's been a tough day for Chris Porter in this ball game.
He has been limited to just 3 points, 1 for 5 from the field. Leading scorer for Ateneo is Henry Madranka with 9. But no player in double digits so far.
Porter already has 12 rebounds. I mean, getting that much rebound, even though they're putting up 2 white jerseys on him every time he goes for the rebound.
As he goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. Owen Kalanasan will check in. Tangkad rin ito ni Owen Kalanasan actually. At least 6'6", 6'7" guy.
It's a good matchup for Versosa.
Loreto scores right before the buzzer sounds. And Coach Manu Inigo liking that last play. So at the end of 30 minutes, it's an 18-point lead from UST, 10 minutes away from securing a Final Four ticket. But first things first, summarize that third quarter for us, Renzo.
It was a USC game there. Ateneo had a few bright spots, but I mean, Ateneo just really trying to fight back in this ball game. But Lim here just really anchoring the defensive side for UST and helping UST to really pull away in this ball game, outscoring them 32-16 in the third quarter.
Lance Roquillo having quite a quarter there with 9 points, an 18-point. The rest of the USC Tiger Cubs still in control with a 32-point third quarter there. Joaquin Ludovice has yet to get hot. He was scoreless in that game against UE, scoreless here against Ateneo. But you know, if there's one player who can light it up, that's Joaquin Ludovice for you.
And if you're Ludovice, you just gotta keep playing. You just gotta keep playing and give your best in the game. And here, I mean, all throughout long, USC has been dominating Ateneo, and you can see in the third quarter, that's the quarter where they really pulled away.
TJ De Los Santos to the layup to start things off. Velasquez, bullet pass to 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢 outside. He splashes it through.
You can see USC just really enjoying the ball game now.
𝔍𝔞𝔪 to Ludovice, open for three. And you can tell Ludovice is quite frustrated.
You can see the extra pass, the drive there, the kick out to the corner, making that open three.
Hang time, Manding. Loreto and Espinas going to war for the rebound. It will be Ateneo possession.
You know, UST right now, they're playing unconscious basketball. I mean, they're playing based on their instincts, and that's what's good about this team entering the playoffs.
Quite of a reverse layup for TJ De Los Santos with 4 straight points.
What a way to break that double team there. Just taking the basketball hard to the basket.
Going back to your point, Renzo, you can tell, right, when a team is overthinking their moves, overthinking their plays, unlike what you're seeing with UST, especially in that third quarter.
Well, yeah, I mean, in this game, USC just like what I said, they're playing unconscious basketball. They're more comfortable. That's why the lead is this big now. They're up to 17 points, and you know, entering the playoffs, that's something they're gonna have to bring with them.
𝔍𝔞𝔪�, same spot, same result. 6 points now in quarter number 4. Ludovice, hang time. Espinas forming a wall. Charles, still no go. Tan slowing things down, awaits for more numbers. De Los Santos finds Espinas. Last second pass was stolen. Velasquez one-on-one. Kurt going to his offhand.
You know, USC just playing relentless basketball. And that's something you want to bring entering the playoffs. You got to be relentless. You got to keep playing hard. Whatever, how big the lead is or how close the game would be. Just play, give it all.
This time around next week, it will be playoff basketball already. So you have 1 week to really prepare yourself, both physically, mentally, emotionally. How about Coach Manu Inigo in his first year with the Tiger Cubs, bringing them back in the Final Four? After a win here, if they hold it down against Ateneo.
I've known Coach Manu over the years, and he always gets the job done. He prepares well, and he makes sure his players are well prepared entering every ball game.
Wacky, quick to the left, 𝔂𝔫𝔫, heat check, heat check, heat check.
Heat check, ice in his veins.
That is three-pointer number 3 for Charles 𝔂𝔫𝔫.
Coming from a skip pass, driving to the baseline, kicking it back to the wing with an open 3.
It has been red hot here in chapter number 4. And an 8-second call. This pressured defense of UST relentless in the second half.
Yeah. USC just playing great defense in this ball game, making Ateneo commit 23 turnovers already compared to just 11 by UST.
Velasquez looking to zigzag inside. 𝔬𝔞𝔪𝔢. What a pass! Touchdown de Guzman.
That's something you want to see, those lead passes.
Porter with a steal. De Guzman, 4 straight points. You like to see the heart and energy of Ateneo here.
Yeah, Ateneo trying to fight back in this ball game, trying to put life in this Ateneo team.
Abdane almost stripped that one home. And he is pumping up his teammates.
I mean, the game is still not over. There's still 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter. A lot of time to really make a last surge and fight back in this ball game.
Well, that's one thing Ateneo has not lacked this season. That is heart. That is energy. But obviously, you know, round 1 matchup, Ateneo won by 15. Surprised a lot of people. But we're seeing a different UST team now, a lot more composed, much better chemistry for sure in comparison to round 1. Let's not forget, This is a brand new team, brand new coach, brand new culture compared to the Final Four team that went last year in season 85.
That's the fun about basketball. It's a game of adjustments. I mean, you might have won the first round, but you making sure that it never happens in the second round, the second time you guys face.
The Guzman make that 6 straight points now for the big guy. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢𝔰 Ebdane was stolen away there by Ronquillo. Lance Ronquillo. It's like a ninja in the night as well.
So far, both teams being erratic in those last 2 plays. And you could see the Ateneo players, they're all kind of gassed up.
UST, I don't think they're ever gassed up. Lagi yung full tank eh. Kahit mahal yung gas.
Grabe din magpa-training yan si Coach Manu, ha?
Just not Chris Porter's night here.
Limb back again for UST for defensive purposes.
You know, the lowest for Chris Porter this season was 6. And now he has 6 points as well. With almost halfway done in the 4th and final quarter. Dungo, corner pocket, in and out. Versosa with the rebound. Versosa on the floor. That time that's a travel, but you like to see the hustle there from Bricks.
That's another thing that Versosa has to learn. When you have that height advantage and when you get that rebound, you shouldn't be putting the ball down and make sure the ball is on top that no one could reach it.
But those are the things he has to learn based on experience and just watching himself on film.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're right about that. And that's something he would really learn over the years as he keeps playing for UST under Coach Manu.
Yeah, and if he wants to watch himself on film, he can download and subscribe the Pilipinas Live app for as low as 149 pesos a month. And for those watching, you know, the Pilipinas Live app, it has everything. UAAP, PVL, PBA. Perfect time kasi magpa-finals na yung juniors.
Yes.
More than halfway done here in the 4th and final quarter. UST up big. Second half, they have been in control and on autopilot. Scoring 43 points and holding Ateneo to just 22 so far. They're reviewing this last play. You know, I'm gonna be quite honest. I was distracted by the calves of Bricks versus. He's a big boy. He's just a big guy. He was an internet sensation as well during the pandemic. That's how they discovered him, yeah. Sa Facebook.
Grabe ang recruitment program ng UST, ha? Nakita pa nila yon
sa social media. Parang lahat naman makikita mo na sa social media. So it will be Ateneo basketball here. Porter with 10 seconds to work with. Chris drives, Chris scores. So Chris Porter school, college students know what to do. You see some of the fans, I believe they're FEU fans. They will have a game later on. Speaking of multitasking, Renzo, magaling ka ba mag-multitask?
Kailangan natin yan, syempre, para marami tayo na-accomplish sa buhay, di ba?
Galing mo talaga, kaya kita idol eh. Kasi, ang galing mo mag-multitask, you can cover the game, tapos nagbabola ka pa at the same time. In the meantime, Chris Porter, difficult hook shot right there. Porter will try again, but Versosa was there to disrupt. And 𝔬𝔞𝔪𝔢𝔰 seems to be in pain. He's holding on to his, it looks like his thigh area. That's a lot of weight going on his legs on Chris Porter.
Definitely, that might have been painful for 𝔬𝔞𝔪𝔢𝔰.
And of course, it's always a scary moment, especially because you're heading into the Final Four and you need a player and the composure of a 𝔬𝔞𝔪𝔢𝔰. So we do hope he's okay. He had a great third quarter as well with 9 points. Still has 14 points going on with 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. It's Wacky Ludovise who will check in. So we'll see if 𝔬𝔞𝔪𝔢𝔰 can return, or they'll probably take a little bit more caution here as they're up by 15, and in a week's time it will be the Final Four. Bilis, no?
Yes, and when you're entering the playoffs, as a preparation, you would want all your players to be in tip-top shape, 100% for battle.
Of course, it's been a quick round 2 in the entire January. So it will be UST ball here.
Ateneo now applying full court pressure this time.
Ludovise skips it to JB. Lim sizing up Tan. Shot clock reads 8. Lim, the emergency pass. Ludovise to beat the buzzer. And you're hoping, you know, we talked about 𝔬𝔞𝔪𝔢𝔰 having to be okay, but you're also hoping for UST. Wacky Ludovise finds his range just in time for the Final Four.
Well, it's something that he has to work on mentally, because when you're a player having tough games, it's all about the mental side on how to improve that, on how to improve your game.
That's actually my next question for you, Renzo. When you had slumps in the junior seniors division, what would usually be your mindset? How would you try to get out of that slump?
You just go back to the drawing board. You go back to practice, work on your craft, try to improve what you did wrong from the last game, and make sure that it won't happen the following game.
Kailangan din may sort of short-term memory ka na tapos na yun, you missed it, now time to move on, as JB Lim, unstoppable in the track race.
Yes, kailangan mo yung when you're a player, you need that next play mentality. Diba? You gotta move forward, and I mean, if you start dwelling on it, it's gonna really affect your game.
Because against that UP game, when you hit that clutch shot, you weren't shooting well that game.
I wasn't. But I had the confidence in me by Coach Aldin. That's why I still took that shot.
Yun ang sinasabi mo, short-term memory.
Yes.
So mabilis ka makakalimot?
Ha? Depende sa pinag-uusapan.
Scenario. Less than 2 minutes remaining here. 𝔬𝔬𝔪 with a smile on his face, and that's because UST are moments away from punching in a ticket to the Final Four. And it was just a great game to bounce back from after that tough loss against their neighbors in the UE Junior Warriors.
Here you can see Tan operating, not using that ball screen, but Lit again on the defensive side, tapping that basketball. And now they're trying to review it.
JB Lim, he just has this intimidating factor to him defensively.
And having a player like that is very special, especially when you're playing against a team who has a player who creates for the team, or who has a main man.
That's
you
right.
need a player like Lim to really have that role to stop that kind of player.
Perfect point, Renzo. So it will be in favor of Ateneo this possession. Going back to JB Lim, we've seen him guard Kiefer Alas, you know, the tough guards of the UAAP, Daryl Valdevilla.
And when you're playing against a team with a player who's a scoring monster, you're gonna have to need a player like Lim to really do the dirty work on stopping that player.
Urbina with a rainbow pass. Porter is trying to give it to Ebdane, but Ludovisa was there with the coverage. And great display of sportsmanship there. Urbina and Ludovisa.
Urbina was a bit aggressive there on that play.
Still have a lot of games later as well. We have FEU and De La Salle Zobel. Kiefer Alas didn't play in their last game. And we see him here, he is not suited up. So Kiefer will not be playing against FEU. And then for our last game, NU versus UE. UE still has a chance if De La Salle Zobel without Kiefer Alas can pull off a huge upset against the FEU Baby Tamaraos. This is the last play they are reviewing.
They're reviewing if it was intentional or not.
Ludovise sprays it out. Guzman with the rebound. And Suico thought third Ebdane was like the Flash.
There was a good intention there, but a bit too strong with that pass.
So a minute and 18. We've seen a lot of fouls in the past 2 minutes or so.
I mean, that's something that's something good that you could see on the players of Ateneo, still not letting up.
Mark Ferrer, he will try from deep. And that one bounces out. So a minute remaining here in our game 2 of 4. Short corner jumper won't bite.
USC now just trying to waste time as they secure this win in this ball game.
If you're Joaquin Ludovise, who now has the leather, you want to get a sense of confidence coming into your next game. He's been in a bit of a slump in the past couple of games.
Again, he has to go back to the drawing board. He has to really learn, review his past games on what he can improve on entering the playoffs.
Ludovisa drives, Ludovisa kicks, cow, corner. 𝔍𝔞𝔪𝔢, 23.8 seconds away from entering his first Final Four appearance in his first year of coaching. There were a lot of expectations with UST. We knew UST was going to be a talented team. A lot of these boys transferred to UST, talking about Ludovisa and Velasquez. That will do it. The final buzzer has sounded. UST Tiger Cubs are going to the Final Four here in season 86, defeating Ateneo 80-66. Hard-fought game from Ateneo, first things first, but they were without their point guard in 𝔘𝔫𝔦𝔰𝔫𝔦𝔱𝔥. And if you're UST, you're just happy to see 𝔘𝔫𝔦𝔦𝔰𝔫𝔦 bounce back